Hey guys, today's Lost Sector is Exodus Garden 2A in the Cosmodrome. There's going to be 2 overloads and 2 barrier. Looking at the build, we're going to be using Strucker Titan with Thunder Crash. The class ability is going to be Thruster, and the melee ability is going to be Thunderclap. For the grenades, I'm going to be using Pulse Grenades, but you could use Storm Grenades if you would like. For the aspects, Touch of Thunder will make our Pulse Grenades create an Ionic Trace periodically as it damages targets. And our other aspect is Knockout, healing us when we get a melee kill. Moving on to the fragments, Spark of Amplitude. Rapidly defeating targets while you are amplified creates an arm of power. Spark of Shock, your arc grenades jolt targets. Spark of Violence, defeating a jolted target creates an Ionic Trace. And Spark of Discharge, arc weapon final blows have a chance to create an Ionic Trace. Moving on to the weapons, we're going to be using an auto rifle for the barriers, but I want Demolitionist on mine. Trace rifle for the overloads just in case, even though we'll be able to jolt them with our grenades. And Leviathan's Breath for boss damage. Moving on to the artifact mods, the important ones are Thunderous Retort, casting our super while amplified or critical makes it deal more damage. Electric Armor, getting damage resistance while amplified. And Lightning Strikes twice after throwing an arc grenade, gain increased grenade recharge for a short time. Moving on to the mods, we're going for a bit more of a glass cannon build. We're going to be using 2 Ashes to assets and a Siphon mod on the helmet. A Firepower so we can make an orb on every grenade kill, as well as 2 grenade kickstarts so we can get our grenade back as fast as possible. On the chestplate, we're going to use the charged up so we can hold 4 armor charge instead of 3. On the boots, we're going to have a stacks on stacks, so every time we pick up 1 armor charge, it will actually give us 2. And we're going to have an elemental charge, so every one of the Ionic Traces that we make gives us 2 stacks of armor charge. As well as a powerful attraction, so that every time we dodge, we will pick up the orbs from our Firepower mod. As well as 2 bombers, so when we dodge, we get grenade charge back. The exotic today is Heart of Inmost Light. Alright, moving on to the Lost Sector. We're going to start out by just shooting a Leviathan's Breath at the Servitor. And killing it with the grenade to get the ball rolling with this build. To get the barrier to spawn, we're going to have to kill most of these dregs. Once a barrier dies, there's going to be another overload that spawns. Moving up here, there's going to be another overload and another barrier. Don't let them get too close or the barrier will put a shield on the overload. We're just going to kill the barrier first to prevent that from happening. Now the way we're able to play this aggro with this glass cannon-y of a build is from recuperation. Every time I pick up an orb, it's giving me health back. Once you kill the Servitor, the door to the boss room will open. One Leviathan's Breath and a Thunder Crash is all you need. That's all there is to it. Happy farming today.